Sometimes when I'm showing a student something, they'll ask me, why am I shaking the note? And that shaking of the note is a variation in pitch when you're playing, and it's called the vibrato. And the vibrato adds another dimension to the sound that you can create. Almost every instrument can make the vibrato, with the exception of percussion instruments like, say, drums, vibraphone, things of that nature, where you simply hit them and they ring, or a bell. But string instruments, horn instruments, the human voice, even synthesizer. Of course, piano can't, but now we have synthesizers, and synthesizers allow that as well. So it's a variation in pitch, and it adds another dimension, like a personal signature, to your sound, as opposed to sounding it just all straight. Now, there's nothing wrong with playing the note straight. A lot of jazz guitarists do that. Some of my teachers never use vibrato. And for certain idioms and certain genres, that's appropriate. But it's nice to have vibrato in your repertoire tricks and methods to gain your own sound. There's 3 methods of vibrato that I'm aware of. The first one is what we call the classical vibrato, which is when you're playing on a classical guitar, which is an acoustic guitar with all nylon strings. The strings are, for lack of a better word, somewhat slippery. And so when you hit a note, you roll the finger back and forth, which pulls on the string and pushes the string. And of course, you know that when you pull it, it goes up in pitch. When you push it in, it goes down a bit. So you have this push-pull effect. It's a very mild vibrato, subtle. It's useful, especially in the higher range, because the frets are narrower, and allows you to get a little bit more of a wide sound there. The next vibrato is what probably most guitar players, rock guitar players, use, which is the bending vibrato, which you're simply bending the note back and forth. And that's where you're taking the pitch, you're sharpening it, in other words, you're raising the pitch and bringing it back down. Okay? So there's that one, and then the third one is kind of a combination of the two. It's called a circular vibrato, which is where you're actually going around sort of in a circle, pushing the string in, pulling it back, and while you're going up and down. You notice it's got a little bit more of a wobbly sound to it, which you need to control. I like that vibrato a lot when I'm in the upper register, for the same reason why I like the classical vibrato up here. If I'm on my 4th finger, I like to apply that there. Instead of, possibly in your outside strings, if you're doing a wide bending vibrato, you can go off the neck. That's always a possibility. So there's an exercise you can practice to work. You want to work the vibrato on all 4 fingers. Don't let the 4th finger get away with not working, because it's the smallest and the weakest. You want to develop it on all 4. And you can take this exercise out of the 3rd position G major scale. Okay, we start off with 4 notes. 7th fret 1st string, 10th fret 2nd, 8th fret 2nd string, 7th fret 2nd string, and then we're going to hit the 1st finger note twice. And then you can go again with the rock vibrato, then work on the circular vibrato. To work your 2nd finger, classical, bending or rock, circular. To work the 3rd finger, okay, 4th finger, reason why I have this in an exercise is because a lot of times we want to add a vibrato to the last note of a particular phrase. So you kind of want to stick that last note in your run. Same thing with blues. So you'll be developing your own sound with your own vibrato. And so try to work on all three techniques, the classical, the bending, and the circular motion.